attention, please.
I think it is a good idea.
Dreams without goals.
People are getting fed up with corporate America.
I want you to get up, stand up, fight back, ask what you can do for your country. Don't call it a comeback.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Corner Launch. My name is Jeremy Griffin, broadcasting live from Startup Street, corner of Swan and McDill. Danny's in the house, bringing the love.
Good morning. The mic's behind me.
His mic's behind him. Andrew's over there in the corner.
Good
What's
morning.
up?
My mic's in front of me.
His mic's in front of him. Nobody's got the limp mic today. Which one's the limp one?
First two parts of my life.
One of
are
them always
behind me.
goes limp. Remember that? Is it yours?
Is it this one?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know why I didn't. I just sit here normally. I should have sat down.
LMS has been a problem in a lot of places these days.
Yeah.
So
Limp mic syndrome. It's becoming a serious problem.
All right, guys. So today we're going to talk to you about a little bit about customer service and, basically creating meaningful experiences in your company.
Or flipping out in front of somebody at a
versus
store.
flipping out in front of somebody in the store. Things to think about, things to consider, and then probably, a handful of things of what not to do, such as some of the stuff that you were talking about earlier. If you have a customer that has a problem, don't look them in the face. Tell them, drop the attitude.
Oh, my God. Can you imagine? You're in to exchange something because the package is open and it's bad, and the girl behind the counter says to you, well, you owe me $1.30 before, but I'll fix it and just make it right if you drop the attitude. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
anyway, it happened in Publix, by the way. Yeah. Publix, Publix, Publix.
So I think that there's definitely a lot of overlap there with customer service and creating great experiences for your clients. And sometimes with the creating great experiences, we're talking about doing things that are outside of the norm, right?
Yeah.
Like Danny was just talking about, you got those little fuzzy finger things. And you just sold 5,000 of them or whatever, and you giving some of those to your clients. Or doing something funny with them, with the client. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And then you stepped in and brought new meaning to the whole.
Yeah. Let's not get too in
To the
depth.
product.
with what
You
money-
bet new meaning to the product.
Mute his mic.
Yeah.
Mute his
Yeah.
mic.
We went from a car wash to whatever
Yeah.
wash. I mean, we don't
So
know.
that was
We went from a car
that
wash to hog wash.
Yeah. Hashtag me too.
So that's creating an experience, right?
Yeah.
But really, the experience that always matters the most is the customer service experience, and just trying to provide as good a value as you possibly can. And that's definitely something that I think that everybody feels like is lost these days. How much of that feeling, though, is us expecting a lot more these days than we used to?
No, I don't think it's that at all.
No?
No, I think it's that we just want to be treated the way we would treat somebody else. Okay? If you have an issue, you have a problem, just please fix it. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate, I mean, that's why when I go into Costco, oh my God. If you want a store to shop at, folks, Costco is, even if you don't buy in bulk, there's so much stuff you can buy there and just have it. They are unbelievable. They're so organized. People are there to help you. They come up. They actually walk you right to the product if you're looking for something. They don't just tell you it's in aisle, next aisle. They take you there.
Yeah,
and lots of times I don't
Costco's
want
great.
I don't want to put you out. I'll just I know where it is. But and that's just how they are. So
Right.
I had a thing where I bought some Bose headphones. Okay, so I bought the Bose headphones. It was 2.5 years ago. So the inside of them, the little foam was coming out from the leather or whatever. What do they call the stuff that's imitation leather? Pleather, whatever.
What are you laughing about over there?
Well,
His
it was-
mic went limp.
Yeah. Hey, Limpy, what are you doing?
Sorry, we got a limp over here. We got a limp. Oh man, I don't know what to say about it. I can't hold this shit.
Oh,
up.
laddie, at such a young age.
Yeah, come on, I'm way too young for this.
So anyway,
think we
to
got
make
it.
a long story short, I asked for the manager and I had the headphones. I said, I shop here all the time, and I says, I got these and Bose is such a good name. I bought other products from before. I says, is there any way you can just take these back so I can exchange them for store credit? He said, yeah, no problem. He said, when did you buy them? I says, I think about a year ago. Yeah, no problem. I bought them 2.5 years ago. They gave me $169 credit to use in the store and took the phones back. So that's customer
Yeah.
that's customer
Yeah.
service. But they do so much volume, the bigger stores, when you do that kind of volume, you can just send it back to the manufacturer, because the bottom line is the manufacturer's not going to really care. They're doing billions
Yeah.
with these guys.
Right.
So it's no skin off their teeth. They're
Right.
not paying for it out of their pocket. But you know something? It's I can't emphasize enough for entrepreneurs, you, our camera guy, everybody, that it's not about what people say to you. It's how they make you feel. When I left the fucking store, I was like, oh my God, I called like 7 people to tell them what had just happened to me. So I spread 7 people, and a lot of them don't even have memberships at Costco, that went out and got them. So how powerful is that?
Yeah. That's
It's
one of
so powerful.
You say that a lot, and I've always taken that to heart, because it is so true that people very rarely remember all the things you say, but they always remember
Right.
how you made them feel. I probably have repeated that 100 times.
It's a huge thing. It really is. It's a metaphor for life. For me, it is anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think it's just so cool.
Is that it? Do you have any other stories you'd like to tell
Oh,
everyone
I got
about?
lots of stories.
Yeah.
But I've been told I've been taking up too much of the show, and it's not my show. So I'll back up. Gotta add a little drama to the place, don't we?
I could talk about some things, customer service, and like just being like, I guess, I'm not a newbie because I've dealt with customers one-on-one, but here's what I'm a newbie at, is having guys go out and do the job, and then the communication, the middleman, the back and forth, and then the customer, because when you have employees, then they become the ones that are dealing with the customer. It's not you dealing with the customer, it's you dealing with them and them dealing with the customer. Yeah. So I've just been like, kind of like, today I was in a position where they had one guy message us on the show about getting his car detailed like right now, and I mean, some people are just like that, like no plans in advance, but that's not my point. The point is the situation of trying to figure out, hey, how do we make this applicable? Like, do we have someone available now? Can we do it? And when not, how can we reschedule them? And it's like when you're on your own schedule, and like when I was doing the mobile detailing and I'm just on my own schedule, I know when I'm going to be available next. Right. But, you know, you have other guys and shit comes up. You know,
do you guys have an online booking thing that you're using to
keep
track of their time?
Not
for the customers, but for their time. You have like you know, with a couple of the salons I've worked with and things like that, because the girls are all available at different times and whatnot. You create, so one's external for customers to book you, and the other one's internal, and they fill out when they're available and shit. And the two can, you know what I mean? They have to sync.
Yeah.
That would be a good thing to probably get going. If that's
no,
what
I mean,
I
I have gotten it out of them, and I mean, it's also like I'm having them come in and do the detailing, but they're also finishing up school as they are, so I have to be adjustable a little bit to them, and it's just trying to, like, I guess, bridge the gap between like all that stuff and being adjustable. It is a lot, and that's just I'm not telling the camera whatever because I'm an expert on it. I'm telling the camera because I'm going through it. Yeah. So
more sales cures that.
Yeah.
Because more sales means that now you're doing less juggling.
Yeah.
You're just hiring people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, he's also hiring people that are going to school, so they're basically part-time. So it's got to be when they're available. I can't skip class. I got to skip class because I got to detail a car. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You know? So
does that happen sometimes? Do the guys skip school to come work with you and make some money?
Yeah, I have a kid that called out of Dick's one day and was just like, nah, I'm not going in because I was providing more work. It's just the truth, more money.
Just go to his manager, make sure he gets an A. That's all.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Just, take care of him. But like I was saying, like, it's just like the stage I'm going through is figuring out how do you be that person that is like the responsible one, but then also make like, you got to train them. I know this is like the obvious answer, cliche answer, but how do I train them to be perfect with like timing with each other and stuff, because it's like if I'm on the show and I'm having them kind of work with the customer a little bit, I if I'm on the show or like doing something else, taking an exam, I'm not on my phone. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I have to have reliance there.
Yeah.
Well, you're in the
that-
service industry too, which makes it difficult because people want it when they want it. They want
People
the
want
service.
it when they want
They
it.
don't want the service next Tuesday. Hey, I'm off today. I want to get my car done now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as
So-
you're trying to build some kind of a worksheet.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
have
where-
I have an Excel. I have my stuff up. It gets bigger a little bit.
Yeah,
every
so
day.
like, because like if you look at like McDonald's, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing that can possibly happen in that store where the people that work there go to find the solution, and it's not in whether it's online in a PDF or they used to have the books.
yeah,
you
the
know,
books.
you flip through to where it is, and it, like
Yeah.
every freaking problem that could possibly go wrong is mentioned, and then what to do.
Yeah, I mean,
it takes the guesswork out of it.
yeah,
right?
I mean, yeah, because the people
Yeah,
working there,
improvising.
the people
Now,
working
what
there
hap-
ain't guessing
what-
too much. But
What happens when where's your truck now?
where's my truck?
Yeah.
It's on top of my parking garage at my apartment.
So, time is money. So why
Yes.
don't you have your truck out on the road all the time? So why don't you find somebody that's in this country, like an immigrant, that they're unbelievable workers. What
Yeah.
I'm saying, they have the time. They're here to support their families, feed their families, and most of them love doing detailing work, and they're good at it. Why don't you find somebody to take that truck and park it someplace every day, and have people drive up, work something out with a gas station. A lot of these people have detail centers set up right in the gas stations.
Yeah.
They got the little canopies and everything, and then that truck could be making money for you all day long, every day.
Yeah. No, I
You know?
I agree 100%. That's it's funny.
You should do a
mention
mobile
that.
podcast inside. How many people can you fit in that thing?
How many people can I fit?
Yeah.
In? Well, it's only the front two seats, but how many people can you fit in that thing?
Yeah, take the water tank out of it.
If you take the shit out,
Yeah.
5, 6.
We'll do a mobile podcast in it.
Yeah. For real. Listen, if it was the bigger Sprinter, it would be really easy to do.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because then we could have it set up like some FBI, like CIA shit.
I had a work van when I was like 19, I think.
Yeah.
I totaled yet another vehicle and went and got this van that was not great. It was like an industrial cargo van.
Yeah, like
And I
the
taped
Chevy
I
ones.
taped off
Yeah.
all the windows and shit, and I sprayed it with gray porch enamel, right? So it was like a flat gray,
Yeah.
and then we spray painted the bumpers and the rims black. It looked pretty intense. There was no windows on it either, right? But
Yeah.
just throw all the construction stuff in there and go to work and whatnot. But on the weekends, we would clean up, take everything out, put a cooler back there, put a couch back there, and it was just,
I mean,
It was a tour.
Honestly, your vehicle should never be sitting on the top of your garage.
Yeah.
It should be parked in a spot where people can get service every day.
Yeah.
And then your customers will have a place when they want to get their car detailed, they can go right then and there.
Yeah.
And I think it would be hard to do it with college kids that are
Yeah.
that are part time.
Yeah.
So if you had a full timer that could handle a couple of details a day, or
Yeah.
Plus, I have this wax product that my friend's been doing up north. He's an he was a race car driver, funny cars and dragsters. He's pretty famous. He won the Nationals like twice, and he found this product that goes on your car, and the wax lasts for almost 5 to 6 months. But he does people's cars that have money, and he charges them $400 or $500 to do their car. And the whole bottle's only like, I don't even want to tell you what the cost is. The margins are pretty good.
Yeah, no.
They're
I could imagine.
unbelievable.
I could imagine.
So I mean,
How
that's
about your buddy that
that's
sells
a-
cars that jumps out of the trunks?
that's a service. That was my cousin.
Yeah, what's he
Yeah.
up to?
He's dead.
Is he really?
Yeah. Thanks for your condolences. that was his father that did those commercials. That was
Okay.
going back in the 60s and 70s.
That's too funny. Oh my god.
I was just trying to make you feel
Yeah.
bad,
Yeah.
Listen, everyone, listen.
But that's an experience,
He
right?
had an unbelievable journey. He had an unbelievable run. Yeah,
Yeah.
he used to get out of the thing, and he used to go, "We're the lowest." And he'd get out and smash the windows in the cars and going, "We got the lowest price. We're slashing and smashing prices, whatever." He'd jump out of the trunk with a sledgehammer, bang. But everybody knew him for that. Come on down was his big thing.
Yeah.
But the funniest thing about promotions, him and the son are both unbelievable good promoters, but he had this.
Such a jackass.
Who?
You.
Why? What did I do?
He died.
Well, he did. It was 12 years ago, so it's not fresh. So So anyway, it was just funny the way you said it. How's he doing? Thanks for the condolences. I mean, we gotta have some humor in life, don't we?
Yeah, no, you're right.
Right.
You're right.
I'm like,
We're gonna bury you in my story is the American dream. Yeah, it's the American dream, all right. But anyway, he had a Dodge. One of the franchises he had was Dodge, right?
yeah.
So he had a mini sticker program. So he'd have the regular factory program sticker, and then have the mini sticker. Right? If you can find a car here without a mini sticker on it, I'll give you that car for free. So Saturday morning, everyone's coming in. The lot kid forgot to put the mini sticker on the car. Okay, so this dude's walking around the lot. And what would you do if you saw a car without the mini sticker?
Without the what?
Mini sticker on it. If you knew you could have the car for free.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, take it.
If you didn't find it, find it without a mini sticker, you get the car for free. What would you do?
Probably look for it.
You know, I said if you found one without a mini sticker on it, and he advertised, if you find a car without a mini sticker on it, you get it for free. Are you listening now?
Yes.
Okay, what would you do?
I would look to see if there was a sticker on it or not.
There was no
You said there's
sticker
no
on
sticker
it.
on
I
the
just
car.
told you.
There's no sticker on
What
any
time
of
does
them?
the coffee kick in? Just let me know.
No, he's saying there's.
He
no
ran a
sticker on it.
promotion. If you find one of our cars without a mini sticker on it, the car's yours for free.
Right.
So the lot kid didn't put a mini sticker on the car. A guy was walking around the lot and he found the car.
Ah, all right.
What would
I
you
see
do
what
if
you're
that
saying.
was you, if you were the guy?
Well, I mean, I'm assuming he probably didn't give the car away and claimed it was a company error, correct?
No. But what would you do? You'd walk in and say, hey, there's a car out there,
Right.
right? Okay.
Okay.
You know what he did?
Huh.
He went and asked to use the phone. You know who he called?
Huh.
His attorney. And told him to come down with a camera. Is that brilliant or what?
Wow.
You and I would go, hey, I want the fucking car for free. And then by the time we get back out there, oh, there's a sticker. You just missed it.
Unbelievable.
Is that genius or what?
Genius.
So he went home. I mean, he went inside, asked to use the phone. He called his attorney, told him to bring down a camera. They took pictures. The attorney was there, and they had to give him the car for free.
Wow.
Now that's called thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
And even in business, when you can think like that,
Yeah.
if you back up for just a minute and think about all your different decisions or the way it could go,
Yeah.
and you thought, yeah,
See, where I end up getting stuck, I mean, there's obviously no shortage of ideas here, right?
Yep.
Where I end up getting stuck, and it's where everybody ends up getting stuck, is you're busy running the business. You're in the business
Yeah.
instead of working on the business. You know, I mean, like people always say, like, well, what if you got $10 million tomorrow? What would you do? I go, I would do the same thing I'm doing right now, but I would have more money to take care of running the business.
Yeah.
And I could actually start having fun working on the business with all these ideas that we come up with and shit.
Yeah. If
You know?
do you know what I would do if
Huh.
I had the 10 million?
Huh.
I'd go into an office place and have a chair especially made for me with my silhouette in it, and then a big sign that says "Gone Fishing." I'd be here in theory, but I'd be out
We'll
fishing
put it
somewhere.
right there on the podcast. So what do you think, Danny? All right.
I think that's a great question to ask somebody. I usually ask people this too when they want to talk business or whatever. I said, if you had $1 billion, what would you do with it
Right.
now? Because then you start to see people's side of them that
Yeah.
you know
Yeah,
that
like,
what they would really do if they had all
Right.
the power to do whatever they
Yeah.
wanted to do.
I'd be
And-
enjoying my life, having
Yeah.
experiences.
yeah.
I'd be doing
Absolutely.
the same fucking thing.
You would?
Fuck yeah.
Really?
If all right, but we're talking about in the terms of 10 mil. Well, yeah, it's the same thing. I would just have more resources. I have my own car wash going,
Right.
right? 10 mil. Five,
Right.
Buy,
There you go.
Buy one of those $5 million
Yep.
ones in West Palm Beach.
Yeah.
A couple $100,000
Yeah.
a year. Each one's producing.
Or buy 10 of them for $100K a pop. You know, how much when you buy the car wash, how often are the car washes for sale and it includes the land underneath it, or is it usually a lease thing? You know, I don't know, but
Depends on the deal. Depends on the deal.
Yeah.
They just opened one in Newport Richie. I think it cost them $5 million to put it up.
Yeah.
It's like a cylinder. Everything's round.
Yeah.
It's really cool looking.
Oh, that's neat.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. It's like that's what makes you different is like when you have a neat car wash like that where people
Right.
feel like they're
People want to come.
yeah.
Make it an experience.
An experience, 100%.
Make it an experience.
But
It's like I'm sorry. Finish. I thought you were
no.
done.
But just quick, what I was gonna like respond to.
Who was that?
Oh, well, someone that's got more respect for me than you. But
Can I break it down? I wasn't allowed to chat when I was a child, so
yeah.
I really wasn't. I didn't have a voice.
But
So now I interrupt people all the time, and people go, "You have 2 ears and 1 mouth. That's how it's supposed to be." And I have 2 mouths and 1 ear. So I'm doing the best I can with the tools and knowledge that I have.
yeah.
All right.
But,
Amen.
What I was saying with the whole money and the like the power thing, I mean, it kind of reminds me of the scene in Scarface, but it's like for real because you ask people to, and you find out their real passion and what they're about. and
Right.
If they're honestly a good person or not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
Yeah.
I think I would just take myself to that next level and then be a little bit more leveled up and try to help out other people.
Right.
You know, that's my honest.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll take $1 million of it if I don't spend it all and take a trip to Italy.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Italy?
Yeah, twice.
Nice.
Great place.
Taking $1 million in Italy could take all of us.
Yeah.
Just get
There
that
you go.
much.
Yeah, get a little
Podcast on a plane.
Global Express flying over there. Paid for by Jeremy, by the way.
So
Startup Street.
you were saying where you got hung up again? Explain that to me one more time.
Yeah.
Working in the business instead of on the business.
Yeah.
Instead of on the business,
Working in it.
working in it.
Like for me, working in it is going over website edits. You know what I mean? Going over video edits and checking on these things and stuff. Eventually, where you want to be is you want to be to the point where anything that's task oriented doesn't require your input. And then also, here's the other big thing: is the review of the task inputs are either getting done so good that you don't need to review them, or you have the team reviewing each other, and you've broken down things to look for and whatnot, or you have somebody else that's reviewing everything. And then if once you get to that point, like for somebody like me, that means that I am now just out creating strategic partnerships, creating sales opportunities,
And you're delegating.
creating promotions and whatnot. And it's always that struggle, when you're like at the level that I'm at of cash flow versus getting the sales and then getting the work done. You know what I
Right.
mean? That's usually how it goes with me. I mean, is I sell a ton of stuff and then I get bogged down in it because I got to make sure it's going to come out great. That's the most important thing, and then you get bogged down in it, and then that whole 2-month period gets wrapped up, and it's like, all right, cool, I'm freed up to go sell again. I go freaking sell my ass off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just that constant struggle,
Well,
Yeah.
I can tell you guys one
You
thing.
just gotta keep at
when
it.
I started my first company, I got fancy business cards, fancy logos. I spent all this money. It didn't mean shit. Second one, when I started doing all the opportunities of deal buying, I used to write my name on a piece of cardboard or something,
Right.
I had cheap cards, and that was it. I didn't have anything fancy, no frills, and
Right.
then as you grow, if you want to buy things, you can buy things. But the interesting thing is, the second year, I was doing everything myself, so I was working like 80, 90 hours a week. But then when I delegated and hired a bookkeeper to do all that, because I'm not good at that stuff,
Right.
okay, my company grew by a couple $100,000. And then when I hired a warehouse person to do all the shipping, receiving, and all that, I went from that to almost 5x my company the next year.
Really?
Because I was doing what I do
Yeah.
best, rocking and rolling, doing
Yep.
deals.
Yeah.
Doing deals, buying shit and selling
Yeah.
it.
You got to be where your
And-
strengths
and
are.
and they'd take it in, count it, and
Right.
yeah, you got to be where your strengths are. If it's sales and marketing, that's what you
Yeah.
should be doing.
In terms of creating experiences, the one thing that I realized with startup over the last probably 6 months. Is that me ringing? Maybe that's somebody else. Sometimes you can hear people's phones ring in the cars outside. Did you hear that?
Jeremy, you've been hearing voices for a while now.
But it's you've got
your clients don't know
when
that,
you're
but-
when you're taking on a project, right?
Yeah.
It's always exciting at the beginning, and I'm very good at that, and I'm very good at managing expectations, and here's what we're going to do, and this is what the process is going to look like. And then while you're doing it, it's usually pretty fun. But the one thing I've realized is that the wrap-up of the project needs to be a better experience, because a lot of times by the time we get done with stuff with people, it's, you know, it's been a month, maybe 2 months, maybe, you know, maybe even a little bit longer depending on how busy they were and, you know, what we're doing.
And you run out of gas.
And the client's running out of gas too, right? And it's just kind of like things get delivered by folders, you know, or you know, you just email over the website login. All right, your site's transferred over. You're live. There's your logins.
It happened to me with the hats. I had them for 2.5 years. So if I sold them when I could have in the beginning, if I flipped them all, I could have flipped them the first day, which I should have.
Right.
But I saw an opportunity to make 10 times more money. So the problem was, at the end, I didn't even want to talk about it, didn't want to deal with it. I just stuck my head in the sand and pretend they didn't even exist.
Gotcha.
But then I had to light a fire under my ass because knew I just had to get rid of them.
Yeah.
So, but it's easy when you've had something you want to move on because it's not fresh and exciting anymore.
It's tough, you know. And I think that if we can, I've thought about some stuff, you know, like when the websites are done, rather than just emailing all that stuff over, we need to have a final meeting. And this would be helpful for the clients too, because a lot of times we have to send over videos on how to do stuff. Come in, you know what I mean? One more meeting. We've already done like 5 of them. Come in for the final one. Site's live. I want to show you how to log in and change stuff and all that. Then everybody feels good. You know, it's a good, clean ending and whatnot. I'm just been trying to think of some ways with that and the video stuff and the consulting on how to create a more memorable ending for it, because it goes right along with what you were saying. And that, and again, this is out of all the shit that you've talked over the years, that's the one thing that
don't be fucking bad mouthing.
No,
me, okay?
I'm not. I'm not bad mouthing you.
Public service announcement.
It's you know, how do you make people feel? Is what they remember, right? So how do I wrap up these projects with a better experience for people to really have a good send off with it?
Take a couple of zeros off their bill.
Well, yeah, that would make anybody's life a little bit better.
That seems to be the number one thing that moves the needle.
You're unbelievable.
There is wit on the show and humor.
You want to hear a story? Speaking about that, last night I went to Duffy's and one of my friends from New York, and I was raving about their boneless wings. And we got their wings, and we ordered 2 beers, shock tops, like the tall ones, and they came super late. And the manager lady comes over to us. We didn't even complain. We didn't complain at all, which is nice. The manager lady comes over to us and says, "You guys have been waiting way too long for your food and drinks." She goes, "The drinks are on me." And then she gave us both a $10 off coupon card. And I ended up paying for 10 boneless wings and like a tall boy beer, $1.80 last night for dinner, for everything.
Nice.
And it made me feel like, guess what? I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
Right. Yeah. And then when you go back again, you say, "Could you leave my wings in the oven for 2 hours?" And just pour me
so there's a heuristic and I think you call it a heuristic of an anomaly.
What's heuristic? What's the meaning of that word? I've never heard it before.
I don't know. I think that's what it's called. In marketing, where if you screw,
can we Google it?
Don't start. Yeah, we can Google it.
You're talking heroistic. Might be heroistic.
Let me say this real quick though, okay?
Say what you're gonna say.
So if you have an issue in the process with somebody, and you fix that process above and beyond what it is they expected, the customer's actually more loyal at that point than they would be if you just delivered it. There's been all sorts of studies on this.
It depends who the customer is.
No,
too.
there's massive amounts of studies on this.
I know, but some people can never make happy.
Some people
no
are never
going
to make happy. But generally speaking, when you screw up, if you repair it above and beyond what they thought, that customer is more loyal than if you just delivered the service flawlessly with no issues. That shows the power of making shit right and the customer experience aspect of it.
So let me ask you a question. I have a question. Say yes, Danny.
Yes, Danny.
Okay. So what happens to somebody that
Stop being weird, Danny.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the show. We have to have fun. You said to have fun. If I got to be serious, I'm not coming anymore. So anyway, when
you can't leave. We went through this before the show started. You're not allowed to leave.
Yeah. The mushrooms, right? Poison mushrooms, fractured skull, wouldn't eat the mushrooms. I get it. So anyway, I have a question. The question I want to ask you, What happens to these companies, okay? Put your phone down, please.
Yeah, sorry, I
okay,
was
thank
looking
you.
that up for
All
you.
right. What happens to companies that come into you and they spend money and they build a really nice website, right? But they never really hire the right person to maintain it, and they never hire the right person to do any of their social media. So they just have a website that's just kind of suspended in air.
Yeah.
And they never change anything or get the bang for their buck. Now I have a friend that sells T-shirts, Teddy the dog, and he does
Right.
unbelievable. But he pays a girl over 6 figures a year to do all his marketing and social media.
Right.
So it changes all the time. He's having contests.
Yep.
So it's like, what's your suggestion for people that do put that kind of money into a website that either can't afford to have somebody maintain it or don't have the right people? Because it seems like such a waste of money. Wouldn't they be better off with a landing page?
No.
Okay.
No. So, I mean, you got to have that. That is one thing that I've always been amazed at with people is that they just don't put the value into the website. You know what I mean? And they put so much time and effort into the marketing. But it's like, that's your freaking store.
Yeah.
That's your whole thing. If your marketing's working, that's where they're going.
Yeah.
You know, it's no different than putting all sorts of ads out all over the place for your shoe store, and then people get there and it's a freaking pigsty. You know, the racks are all jacked up, shit's empty, and it just looks all, why would you put the effort into marketing for that? So that's the one thing that is always amazing to me. So you have to have a great website. The more awesome your website is, the better your company does tenfold. There's more than enough studies to back this up and whatnot. As far as people that don't have the money to constantly be changing it, you shouldn't have to change it too much. That just kind of depends on how much.
I'm talking about updating and stories, what's going on, what's happening with us.
Right, like loading up articles and get the blogs and running promotions on the top slider and all that stuff.
Or
you know what I mean?
having a limited edition.
Right.
We're only making 1,000 of these. You better
Right.
get them while you can.
Right, so loading the products up on there and things like that. I mean, that's just something that people gotta, they just gotta get it figured out. Unfortunately, there's really no solution between that. They either figure out how to get it done in-house or they hire somebody outside to do it. But and like I said this probably 3 times over the last week or 2 weeks. I mean, the amount of clients that I've had that we make all the content for and stuff, and deliver them an entire folder of content, and they get 20% of it up on their social media, and the other 80% goes nowhere. Right?
Yeah,
And there's so many of them that's happened with. And then obviously when I follow up, because I see, I'm like, hey, so what's going on? Oh, well, we didn't really blah, blah, blah. So that's why I'm kind of thinking with the branding package that we do with everybody, that 30 days of social content done in one day, stop making the loading part optional for people. We're freaking loading it, and there's no choice, and send over the logins and the admin, and that's it. Because if we don't make sure that happens, it's the distribution of the content once it's made. That is the follow-up. That's the follow-through.
And then they pay a maintenance fee every month, but it's done right.
Right.
And it's done on time.
Right. And I mean, so people ask me that about the website stuff too, and they're like, well, how much you charge to maintain it? I'm like, listen, if your site is built well enough, with the exception of, updating some plugins and stuff like that possibly, and a couple of little things here and there, it shouldn't need constant maintenance, right? It depends on how many new products are you loading into it all the time. Are we going to run a promotion once a season? Or are we going to run one once a month? Or are we going to run one once a week? Because if that's the case, then, you need your promotional banners changed and all that, and that's all just dependent on them. But my God, I've seen some people that are like, yeah, and we'll maintain your website for $500 a month. And it doesn't include, swapping out promo shit. And it's just they're literally just going into the back end and being like, okay, is everything secure? Yes. Okay. $500.
Yeah.
I'm like, I hate that shit.
For doing the same thing
I can't
that you would just have to use.
Exactly. I can't stand it when people do that. It just drives me
Well, you
nuts.
should put it in the package and say it's mandatory. Because we want to represent you in a way that you get the maximum.
No, so I'm talking about the
this.
website maintenance. In terms of
Right.
the social distribution, you're right. I mean, there's just no getting around it at this point. I've got 2 years, 3 years of that same package that we've been doing to look at, and I would say probably 20% of the clients never get more than half the fucking content up on there.
I think you were talking about content. You said something, and I kind of smiled. I was thinking about how many times do you walk into a restaurant, not a high-end restaurant, but a regular restaurant like a Chili's or something, and you see these amazing pictures on the menu. Then the food comes out, and you go, wait a minute, show me that menu again.
Right.
You know, it's like it looks completely different.
Completely
like you printed
different.
this thing like, holy shit, I can't wait to get my fork in this
I
thing.
mean, that's what my job is a lot, you know, is to make sure that everything looks the best and the videos come out the best and the pictures look fucking tight and all that.
It's taking the girls and putting the makeup on them, right?
Yeah, and the filters and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's what my job is,
pretty
right?
it
Is
up,
to
yeah.
take, like, it makes it a hell of a lot easier when you got somebody with some personality, like Vince Perry, the
Yeah, he
commercial,
was good.
the public adjuster. Public adjustment is a boring industry.
Yeah.
He has freaking lit in a fire in that freaking industry like I have never seen before. When
He's
we
made
went-
it interesting.
Yes, when we went to that event that night in Orlando for him, there was 80 people there. 80 people showed up to meet Vince that were in the public adjusting industry. Huh?
Yeah.
You know what?
I mean, that's good for him.
His content came out great.
No, that's
Yeah,
that's
no, that came out phenomenal.
That's sweet for him because
And he'll make sure the shit gets out too.
no.
Yeah.
He's like, I notice, you know.
He's on it.
He's on it.
He's on it. But some of them, and then, you know, you've always got clients, too, that you do up the content for. And it's one thing to have it, but they don't always understand the storytelling aspect of it, right? So they've got pictures and stuff, and they're like,
Wingman 101.
Wingman101.com. Get Danny in there. But they don't understand how to tell a story around the graphics or maybe the video or whatnot, so they
Yeah.
don't know how to get it out there.
Yeah.
Whereas I have been doing all this stuff for so long, you just give me, I don't care what the hell it is. Give me 10 images of anything for a company. And just because I understand business at a level of things and I've done so much stuff in so many different industries, I could tell a story with all of them. For somebody else's business I've never even worked in.
So what you're telling me is you can make some car wash TikToks with Dire Straits in it.
Oh, you got it, man. Definitely.
Perfect.
Definitely. You like Dire Straits?
I've been there before.
Let me ask you this: in the Dire Straits song, when he's saying we got to move these televisions, or we got to move these microwave ovens, is he talking about like stuff that they boosted off the back of a
Probably
truck
jacked-
or something?
Jacked it up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's what I always thought.
Yeah. It's got to be something like
Yeah.
that. Has to be.
So
So creating the experience, right?
the experience.
And I think that the other thing that people forget when they're trying to create great experiences, whether it's a process you're incorporating into a company, or maybe it's a one-off experience you're putting on an event, whether it's a team building an event or it's an event for your partners or your employees or your customers or whatever. If you create those experiences, but you don't document those experiences and get them out there, did it really happen?
No.
You know what I mean?
Well, one of the things that I'm finding out now is that people want the real deal. People don't want shit that's hyped up. That's just that they want regular people that are just
Correct.
They want to see who you really are.
So, like, if you're going to go through all the hassle, though, of creating something like that, right? Like, let's say that we did the freaking thing with the flatbed, right? Remember the flatbed idea with his truck?
Yep.
Let's say we did that. Now, imagine if we did that and we didn't film, though, any of it. You know how much we just lost out on the promotional capabilities of that? I mean, we just crushed it by like 80%.
No, but
You know?
what I'm saying to you, if you're doing something and you've got all this stuff going on and it's all rehearsed and staged and everything else, people want raw and live. I think
Yeah.
than over the
Oh,
other stuff.
always.
Especially if they're little entrepreneurs.
Yeah, the more
They
real,
want
the better.
They want the real people.
That's it. That's
know?
why I like the content shit that we do with people with the vlogs and stuff so much, because it's so real. But I've got the ability to kind of direct them a little bit into at least areas and ask questions that gets good, legitimate content
So
out of them.
I got a question for both of you. Going forward, what's the new phase? I mean, as far as phase is what I mean, like what's the new thing? Since there's so many people on YouTube and so many people on, I even noticed on Marketplace, I put shit up that used to fly.
Yeah.
I don't even get calls anymore.
Right.
And I got stuff that's all branded.
Yeah.
So it's like there's just too much. People just can't get through it all.
Yeah.
So what's the deal with? What's the deal today?
Maybe like Instagram Shop.
Well, you know something? I'm finding that the people that are doing videos on Instagram that are Brad.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Are you kidding me?
No, go ahead. Keep
I've been holding this for 2 hours.
Keep talking.
Unbelievable. He just walks out. No respect at all.
No respect.
None.
After giving the spiel.
Yeah, the spiel.
Yeah.
Say hello to my little friend. So anyway,
Yeah.
what's the thing today? Because you have a very limited time to capture someone's imagination. But I'm finding that the Instagram people, that the resellers especially, that have deals, it seems to be that's the place that's happening because they're doing videos live from their warehouses, their garages,
Yeah.
and they seem to be really killing it, crushing it.
Yeah. Yeah, the Instagram Live thing I think gives a good amount of like authenticity. 'Cause
So
what
that's
the
where it's
YouTube-
happening, right?
Yeah, because all the guys with the YouTube pages that sell like whatever they sell, they're always on the Instagram Live.
Yeah, I think you have to be.
Yeah, because the same stuff they're doing on YouTube, like when we do the show and it's just like with the off the air whatever, it's like the same kind of thing, but that's them on Instagram Live while they're just bullshitting about whatever at the time. And they might be talking about their product or they might be talking about something else. Like I follow Daily Driven Exotics. They do sports cars and stuff like that.
Nice of you to join us.
And,
Did you wash
they
your
get a
hands,
great-
young man?
Yes, they get a great following, Instagram Live, because if you're gonna be on YouTube, or you're watching someone on YouTube and you're the viewer, I know this is not true, but like amongst all ages, but it tends to be a younger crowd that will watch their YouTube stuff and then go to their Instagram
Right.
after, when they see the Instagram
Because
stuff.
it's not happening in the marketplace like it used to.
No, and I
And
think that
stuff just gets lost.
what
And the people I was telling him
it's saturated.
while you were in the bathroom, the people on Instagram that are buying deals or they have merchandise to move, they're putting live feeds of what they have.
Yeah.
And, there was one guy advertised the other week. He's doing truckloads of Amazon returns, right? So if you get there at 6 in the morning from 6 to 9, if you want the preferred shopping thing, you can have experience for 2.5 hours shopping. You'll be the first one in. It's
Yeah.
$25.
Yeah.
So if he lets 100 people in the door to shop,
Yeah.
that's $2,500. Before everyone's going to pay $25.
Yeah, he's using the tools
But
that
isn't
are
that
available
great?
to him.
Isn't that a great idea?
I love it. I mean, people should be trying to document as much stuff that they do as humanly possible. You don't want to fill your feed with crap. I'm a big believer that quality is more important than quantity, and some people don't agree with that. Some people think it's just quantity. But the fact is, and this is a very harsh fact for people to come up with, is that a lot of the people that promote quantity, they're very charismatic people. And they can turn the phone on for themselves. Like, you could do this. You've got the skill set. They turn the phone on themselves, and whatever they're saying is engaging. But they've got the it. They've got the it factor. And, like, not everybody... You can coach people on that shit, and you can try to... But some people have that ability to just crank shit out the drop of a dime, and most of them don't. So I always say quantity over quality, but to what you're saying, though, the guys are using the tools that they've got, but it is saturated. So I don't think that...
I mean, something just sitting there is not going to sell anymore.
Right.
Like it used to.
Right.
I mean, if it's an unbelievable deal and they can't find it like something of interest, like men love tools and then
Right.
women have other things that they want to buy, you
Yeah.
know. But it's a specific category. That's the stuff that...
It's going to be... Whatever is going to be next is...
Like I had golf balls. Those were huge on Marketplace. Nuts.
Now they don't sell?
Nuts. Yeah, they sell if I had them. If I had them, I don't
Oh.
have any left.
Gotcha.
But they were huge. But if you're putting up, I got my Adidas backpacks up there.
Right.
I got $29. It's a $70 bag.
Just not going anywhere.
I haven't even had one
Those are nice bags.
request. Oh yeah, I sold a lot of them. But I mean, I'm saying that there's just, it's almost like you need to have that the pizzazz factor.
So here's something cool. The one thing that I'm still intrigued with was the whole Pokemon Go.
It's coming back.
scenario, right?
It's coming back. Pokemon's coming back.
What's that?
I re-downloaded that show last week for the first time in 5 years.
Okay, so the fact that what I saw with that was the ability to incorporate local businesses into things in a community building aspect, and I was like, wow, this has the potential to be really neat. So to piggyback off of our crypto thing from last week, right? I was talking to one of my friends, and he's got a guy that is making a coin, okay? And the coin is, are you familiar with Pokemon Go? Have you ever checked that out? Okay.
No, I know the kids were into Pokemon when the kids.
Yeah. So
we went to see the Pokemon movie.
So it's using augmented reality with the coins and getting businesses involved in it, which is really kind of neat. So like, let's say that you were, and again, I'm not terribly certain how it works, but like, let's say that I signed up for this thing, right? Well, then anybody that came to startup would have the ability to see that coin virtually in their phone in my office and grab it. And now they're increasing their bank account. So rather than mining, you're putting in footwork. Okay, it was really freaking cool. So I don't know what's next, but the one thing I know for certain is that whatever is going to come along next is still going to be digital and keep people connected somehow, because it's not just going to go in like a wild reverse, because we're too social. Humans love the social element of it, and as much as freaking social media drives all of us nuts and all the horrible shit, the ability to communicate it's innate in us, and we love it. Clearly, I mean, you know what I'm saying. So like, it's going to be.
I know what you're saying in one aspect, but the other aspect of it, even the young people now, my kids, other ones who I talk to, they're
getting tired of it,
disenchanted by the fact that social media is like not a reality.
Right.
So they thought when they got on it was the coolest thing, and you could share all the stories and everything else. And now a lot of them hate it.
Well,
because
that's cool too, because
it's not real. It doesn't feel real.
Right.
It feels like you're in this fantasy thing. You got 5,000 friends. Yeah. Well, how many of those friends are going to come take you to the hospital at 4:00 in the morning if you puncture the kidney?
Right.
I mean, so in the stuff that they put on there and all the bullying that goes on in the stuff. So a lot of the social media is a society that's looking at the world from the outside in instead of the inside out.
Yeah.
And that's become the problem. So, because if we really thought for ourselves and had our own, if we were followers and leaders instead of followers,
right,
we'd think for ourselves.
Right.
Those are the people that create the shit and make it happen.
Right.
And everyone else is just like sheep, and they're running along. It's the same as with this vaccine thing that's going on.
Right.
Like, I can't believe how many people have caved in the last month to finally they're going to get the vaccine. And I'm there like, well, you're fucking healthy. Why would you put that in your body? No, it's amazing.
It's the herd mentality.
Yeah, it's a herd mentality.
And humans in general.
But that's got a lot to do with social media now, too.
Correct, exactly.
Yeah, no,
the herd
social
mentality.
media really changed everything over the course of the last, even 4 years.
Actually, it's hurt society more than it's helped it. I mean, it's great for being able to plug into something and find out any information you want. It's great to see all the stories, all the news flashes and everything.
Yeah.
But it's really hurt a lot of people. There's been a lot more suicide. There's been a lot of shit where people, just can't deal with.
I think that though that the social element of things is here to stay, despite the ugliness. So I don't know what's next. And
it's here.
The cool thing about social media right now too is that everything gets old and tired eventually. Yeah. And the interactive dynamic, calling somebody is never going to get old and tired, because that's an authentic, real conversation.
What do you mean calling somebody's never going to get old?
Calling somebody is never going to get old and tired.
Yeah.
Like, people are never going to be
well, for me, I'll tell you, here's a pet peeve, okay? Somebody texts you and you call up the phone because you want to talk to them, and they don't answer the phone, they text you back. I'm there like,
I might be guilty of that.
I'm there like, motherfucker, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to you. The reason I called you, I don't want to text all day. Pick up the phone, and they give you, and they don't pick up the phone, and then they send you back a second text.
The worst is when they know you're doing nothing, then they text you back and say, why you call?
Yeah, why'd you call? It's just bullshit.
Because I called, pick up the phone, and maybe you'll know.
Or kids, or seeing kids over someone's house that you go to visit, and they're sitting in the same room, they're not even talking, they're texting each other. I mean, what the fuck, really? Really?
Yeah.
That's the world.
So what we should do is remove the vocal cords of all the young people?
No, I'm just saying, like, it's, whatever's next is still going to be digital. It's just we don't, it's hard to imagine what the next things are because they're not here.
So why? Yeah, they could be here. If we created them, they would be here.
Right. But
So
I'm just saying,
why
like,
don't we create one thing? Why don't we pick a project that we do here?
let's make the Startup Street coin.
Yeah.
We can do that.
I thought that idea that one guy had with the augmented thing was just.
Is it you gonna call it the Startup Street coin, or you gonna call it something?
Wait, what were we gonna call it last week? The
Vaughn coin?
Vaughn coin. Yeah.
The what? Vaughn?
Yeah.
The Vaughn coin.
Yeah.
You have to say that in a certain way.
Yeah, like that.
Excuse me, what do you have? What is your currency? It's the Vaughn coin. The Vaughn coin.
Ran on the computers at the UT library.
Where is it originated? In downtown Tampa, darling, by the way of the Netherlands, the Vaughn coins. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. But I like the idea of using it on all the college campuses.
Yeah, that was a good idea.
They use it for all the food and all their shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it was called Vaughn coin, like, people would be hysterically
Oh,
crying
yeah.
at that. People would be like, I need it.
Yeah.
I need it
Well,
just to have it.
a certain
What?
certain guy named Vaughn might have a slight problem.
Why would you have a problem? Who's Vaughn?
He's the guy that runs the school over there.
What school?
UT.
The school will be good.
Were you here for that?
So
Maybe
what?
You weren't here that. For
They
that
haven't
day.
talked about coins, have they, with him?
No.
No, Vaughn could be anybody.
Yeah.
Vid Vaughn.
Yeah.
Von
Danny
Helsing.
coin.
I don't want a Danny coin. The Vaughn
Danny
coin.
Dallas.
What was Tiger's ex's?
Danny Dallas.
Danny
What
Dallas.
was
Sounds
it?
a little
Lindsey
light and
Vaughn?
loafers to
Lindsey
me.
Vaughn.
Okay, there you
Yeah,
go.
there we go. Another Vaughn. Lindsey Vaughn. Vince Vaughn.
Von Helsing.
Oh, who's
Dodgeball. We'll call it the dodgeball coin.
What about Ricky Vaughn?
I don't know who that is.
No, that's
Is it,
too tacky.
hold up. Yeah,
Did you see Heuristic?
But you have to. Somebody said you got to put millions of dollars behind these coins to make them happen.
No.
That's
You know who Ricky
that's
Vaughn
what,
is.
That's what Wes told me.
That's like saying you can launch a shoe company, but you got to put millions of dollars behind the marketing in order to get it out there. You can launch anything.
Yeah.
You can grow it organically, or you can, go grab some money and put a big mountain of cash behind it. Danny Dollars. You could get that launched. That would be the way.
It's a little too feminine for a coin. Danny Dollars.
Danny Dollars. But that's how people could transact with all of your inventory stuff.
I'm not interested in inventories anymore. I want
No?
coins. Let's
But how
just
does-
go.
Yeah.
I don't
want
want to
to
handle
value
those.
though. Like, how would it? If you brought a crypto, how would it go? Like,
That's the thing. And that's why I was
Yeah.
so fascinated with that augmented reality aspect of that crypto, because it's actually differentiating
We
itself.
could put our faces on the coin like the Three Stooges.
yeah.
The Vaughn coin. The Vaughn brothers.
So you don't know who Ricky Vaughn is? Ricky Vaughn is Charlie Sheen in Major League. You've ever seen that?
Oh,
movie?
yeah, that was
Major
great,
League?
wasn't it?
Yeah.
But he didn't have glasses. He's throwing the ball all over the place.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So, at the end of the day, experiences. Got to create experiences for your people. You got anything you want to add to that real quick?
No, start with him, I'm thinking.
Okay. You got anything you want to add to that real quick?
Add to the experience. You got to
Yeah.
add a little jazz, passion, and heart into it.
There you go.
And the most important thing that I bring here every week, the love.
Bring in the love. Bring
Gotta
the
have,
love to your
yeah,
experiences.
you have to be in love with what you do.
Yeah,
and you
you
got to be
do.
in love with what you're doing.
Right.
Okay. I mean, when you see people on these talent shows, and they're doing shit at 80, 90 years old, they're singing and dancing like on America's Got Talent, and some of them have just unbelievable voices, whatever.
Right.
And they're doing it at any age. So it doesn't mean you have to be a certain age to start anything.
Huh.
I mean, Colonel Sanders didn't start till he was 65 years old. He had $77 in his pocket. He got his Social Security check, and he thought, well, I can't live on this. So he made chicken for everyone in the neighborhood and just went door to door, and people started eating his chicken. And by the time he died, he was worth $1 billion.
God bless him.
That's a lot of chicken.
That's a lot of chicken.
That's
is-
not chicken scratch. Let's do it that way. No, seriously. So it really doesn't matter what age.
Right.
What age? And you know something? You can have one idea. And the interesting thing about now, like when I'm older than you, a little bit, growing up, we completely different era, and then your era, and now their era.
Yeah.
There's never been a time in the history of the world where you could make so much money in such a short amount of time.
Very true.
I mean, the guy that started Facebook, he went to 50 billion in 5 years.
Right.
I mean, you couldn't do that building a company traditionally like Trump did, or like
Henry Ford,
any of those guys.
Right.
You know, you couldn't do it.
Yeah, the power of the internet.
But now you can. Yeah, power of the internet. It's unbelievable.
It sure is. All right.
But you see something? The internet. What? Are we ending?
Yeah, we got to get it wrapped up.
Why don't you put a fucking light up, like an in-studio light that flashes, so we know when it's over? Huh? How many times do I have to tell you I couldn't talk when I was a kid? Huh?
All right, cool. Danny, anybody?
You guys want to come home with me? I'll bring the speaker in the car.
Andrew, people want to get a hold of you.
Facebook at Personal Pit Stop. I will respond to your DMs personally.
Personally, with love. Danny,
With love.
people want to get a hold of you.
Thewingman.com.
Thewingman.com. All right, sounds good.
It doesn't exist yet, but try and get a hold of me.
Awesome, guys. I appreciate it. Until next time. Arr.
Boom. I love fucking you up. It's a beautiful thing. Oh, wow. It's 12 o'clock? Holy shit.